Hey guys, how's it going? So yesterday you went over what it means or what characteristics make up a civilization. Well, I want you to take a few minutes, and I want you to brainstorm your ideal society or civilization. Like, what would it look like? And you're going to be writing or typing in your ideas. Um, and I already have all this stuff. I have a lot of this stuff already put in there, so you're not having to kind of create anything new. Um, for instance, how many people live in your civilization? You're at home, so you can just pick one. And if you want, you can literally highlight it, right? And you could say, hey, I want 10,000. You can do that, right? So there's going to be several parts where you can highlight an option or change the color of the writing. Okay. Geography, pick your location. Where is it going to be? You can highlight, right? You can highlight what your geographic features are. Do you have mountains on one side? Are you by a river? These sorts of things. Food supply. What crops are you growing? You have to come up with at least three of them. So it's like wheat, barley, whatever it is you want to grow. And you have to at least have two types of animals that you have domesticated. So I don't know, sheep and cow. You can have more. You can definitely add more. You can always add to any of this stuff. I just made a very basic. I know some of you, you're not going to want to go crazy with it. So that's fine. Now, I need to know what percentage of you guys hunt and gather and farm. Remember, this needs to equal 100. So maybe you mostly farm. So maybe 80% farming and 20% hunting and gathering, whatever it is. Okay. How will your location, right, sustain your crops and your livestock? Right. So think about water. If you're not near the water, how are you going to get water to the crops and livestock? Are you going to, is there going to, do you build like an aqueduct? Like how do you make sure that these things are taken care of? And how will this location be advantageous or good for defense? Maybe you're at the base of a mountain. Maybe you're at the top of a mountain, right? And your enemies would have to go kind of climb over the mountain. Whatever it is, right? How does your location help you? All right, so you can highlight or circle this. Do you have a marketplace where people can go and buy and sell stuff? Do you have religious buildings? What kind of villages or houses do you have those available? Do you have farmland? Do you have some sort of military, right, or defense system? If you do, where are they trained? Is it small, medium, or large? Do you have government buildings? So all this you would just highlight. You just pick one and highlight it whatever color you want. Now, your system of government, you need to decide what type of government your civilization will be using. I just put four options here. Obviously, if you kind of know about this and you want to add your own, you can add your own. But I have, monarchy. We mainly know that that's kings and queens, right? Oligarchy is a small group of important people. Democracy is kind of what we have in the United States. We have representatives and we vote and all this stuff. A theocracy. This is a government in which God or gods rule through people. So it's when the religious entity has control over the civilization. Okay, so those are your options. You can definitely add to it if you want, but make sure you fill this out first. And then we're going to go to crisis mode. Okay, so once you have this filled out, then you're going to look at the presentation here. All right, so hopefully you're ready. Hopefully you figured out what your civilization is, okay? So now I'm going to bring a crisis into your land. And using what you know about civilization, you're going to respond accordingly, right? So you're pretty much going to tell me if your civilization can handle the situation or not, right? And why. And then what characteristics would have helped you out if you didn't have it already, or maybe you already had what you needed. Okay, so let's get to it. So the first crisis, what's happening here? Okay, the first crisis, oh, geez. Well, let me get rid of this. Sorry, guys. Okay. There has been a plague that is sweeping across your empire. It is very contagious and being spread from person to person. Right? And I say here, In a matter of 1 week, 1/2 of your population has died or is in the process of dying. So in 1 week, half of your people are pretty much gone. Okay. Can your civilization handle this or not handle this? And why? And what would have helped you handle this? Number 2, a mighty army from the north is preparing to invade your civilization. Right? Would you be able to handle or not handle this?
Xerxes conquers and controls everything he rests his eyes upon. He leads an army so massive it shakes the ground with its march. This is Sparta! And these shields, boys! Archers! Lay down your weapons!
Here it comes.
Persia! Come and get them! Hold!
All right, so you get the idea, right? Would your civilization be able to handle this kind of invasion? All right. So would you be able to handle it or not handle it, and why? And what would have helped you handle an invasion better? Okay. So crisis number 3, a severe drought has hit the land. There has been no rainfall for over 6 months. Okay, so that's down here. People are beginning to starve and they are starting to lash out with violence due to their frustration. Okay. Yeah. Right. So would your civilization be able to handle or not handle a food shortage, and why? And then what would have helped you? Where drought means no rain, crops die. There has been a huge increase in crime in your civilizations. Robbery and murder are increasing at an alarming rate. Come on. All right, so you get the idea. Okay. All right. So, how would you respond to an increase in these violence, right? Beatings, assaults, robbery or theft, murder? Would your civilization, would your civilization be able to handle or not handle the rise in crime, and why? And then again, what characteristics would have helped you in this situation? Okay, so that's pretty much that one.
And that's all, folks.
All right, so have a great day. Make sure you're taking care of your work. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you.